Good.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm proud of our team, preparing them for this game, especially coming off of a long road swing, trying to prepare them, trying to have them mentally focused for how fierce this game is. It's one of the more difficult games I've ever been a part of, year in and year out. Mike does an amazing job with his team. It means a lot to him. You can tell in terms of the physicality of the game, the competitiveness of the game, and it's really, really a difficult game to play in. It really is. To our kids' credit, I thought tonight we didn't crumble. We were able to break away a few times to get a lead and able to finish the game off and get a win. And we didn't play particularly well, but I'll give Brown a lot of credit. I thought they made things very difficult on us. I thought the game was very, very physical, and just the ability to move freely and do things in this game was off limits tonight. You know, and we had to really buck up. Like, we got absolutely destroyed on the glass in this game, and that has to some point come our way a little bit better, because you're not going to win giving up 19 offensive rebounds. To our guys' credit, didn't panic and were able to stay in it. I thought they missed a lot of good ones in and around the basket that maybe would have, can go in a different night, but finding a way in the second half to play with, 5 or 6 turnovers. We ended up getting 9 steals, 6 block shots. There was a lot of hustle plays on our end, I think, that were required tonight. This wasn't going to be a pretty game. So to be able to get the win at home, get back to, in a rhythm here with our schedule is good. And we'll figure out what we need to do a little better with our guys here after tonight, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Archie, obviously you've been in plenty of big games, but is there a monkey off your back now that you finally beat Brown at you, all right?
Maybe. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job. It isn't at the end of the day for lack of preparation. It isn't at the end of the day for lack of trying. But at the end of the day, in these games, you have to have a certain respect and character level to understand what it's going to take. And I thought our team, with the character level that we have, the understanding of how we've been practicing and approaching things, was ready to play. Now, I do think that in the course of the game, you can get tight, especially at home, and that has happened to us in the past, but we were able to finish this one. But I got a lot of respect for their program. I got a lot of respect for the way they compete. They're a little bit younger than they've been in years past, but it's hard this day and age, to respect how hard games are, because you have a new crew who, in many ways, they don't understand. They haven't been in the game before, right? And like, in some cases, Brown has more returners. They understand what the game is, and I think there's an advantage in that, especially when it gets to a tight, contested type of a game. But we had a good way about us. It isn't as if believe me, we did not take 1 minute thinking about anything else other than Brown coming in this game. So you can call it what it is. They've earned victories, and we earned one tonight.
Coach, it looked like in the first half the game was played under their terms.
No doubt.
They slowed it down, they mucked it up.
Yeah.
Their defense at half court was pretty good.
They're a very good defensive team. If you look at their numbers, especially since Landon has come back, they've really, really defended well. They block shots. They have great size. In tonight's game, and more importantly, I thought the ability to move was eliminated. They were way more physical. They were way more, the cuts were hard, the catches were hard, and then for the first time in a long time, like, bigger, stronger, more fierce team won the battle on the boards all game, but in particular in the first half, that was the difference.
So the question is, how do you break out of that? How did you break it? Second half looked like you played a little better, you pushed the ball a little more, you were able to get it, I think, more fast break points. I mean, what was changed from the first to the second that moved the game off of their terms to a great extent?
I think we addressed our team with the physicality that's required to play in that type of game. 11 offensive rebounds at halftime. The inability to get a defensive rebound eliminates your running game. So it was a sort of a mucked up game. It was a good way of putting it, and they won that battle. I thought our guys coming out in the second half set a better tone defensively. We rebounded at least the first 8 minutes of the second half better, and our defense created some offense in that first 8 minutes to give ourselves a little bit of a cushion. But they didn't go away, and we didn't finish. Extending a 13-point lead or 9-point lead to 15-17 And shots were hard. We didn't hit tonight. Thought they did a really good job on Jonah, making it difficult for him to get looks. We also had some really, really poor decisions in transition when we had opportunities to extend. Probably about 3 or 4 empty transition positions in a row where we made bad decisions. We got to get better at that. But I think our guys rallied at halftime, understood what was going to be required to keep getting better. We were much better physically, defensively in the first 8 minutes, and we were able to grind it out. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, they shot 31% from the floor and, you know, 20% from three. That's a great defensive numbers, other than we didn't defensive rebound the entire 40.
Archie, aside from different players, of course, what's allowed you guys to guard the ball on the perimeter so much better this year in terms of turnovers and field goal defense?
Team is built different. Quickness level is extremely good. Our activity level, even with our forwards out there, Kian, Drisa, we're built to be aggressive. And I think that's been a calling card for us here early in the year, is really trying to get the defensive side of the ball to be more disruptive, more deflections, more steals. And we have some good, really good individual guys. Jonah's a terrific individual defender. He can really, really cover ground and close out. He's smart. Miles is a terrific defender, can get his hands on balls. Jameer, very long arms. And Kian, in particular, when we had Mo and Drisa, they fit the bill in terms of being able to impact the game a little bit differently instead of having to sit back. So built differently, much quicker, and we have to play into that, which has been our thing all summer, all fall, all 9 games, and we're not going to go away from it.
Coach, you've been talking about looking for opportunities to get Corey and Johnson in the game together. You did it somewhat tonight. How do you think that worked out?
You know, we have to play it by ear. I want to get all of our guys opportunities to grow. I think Harper getting an opportunity here recently. Damon didn't get as many minutes maybe tonight as he's had, but he's going to have to play a larger role. We have to get more depth going, because I think the fresher we are, the better we're going to be. And if it's Miles and it's RJ, or if it's Damon, if it's Harp, Barrett, hopefully we can figure out how to tweak that a little bit. We may have to play bigger at times. We played Jameer and Alex together tonight, which was the first time in a while we were able to play those two together. So we just have to play it by ear, each day by day. He's doing a good job.
But the question was more pointed about those two guys in there at the same time. What is the dynamic, or how did it work out, and what are you looking for when you put both of them in?
Are you talking about RJ and Miles?
Yeah.
If they can play together in Orlando a couple stretches, it gives us 2 ball handlers. It gives us good quickness. Size means the world. If they're both playing well, let's get them out there together a little bit more. Sometimes it's not as simple as just putting those 2 out there. We also have to develop other guys as well. So there's some cat and mouse with it.
With a new team, like you said, new players, understanding rivalries, obviously. The next one, how do you tell your team, prepare your team for the environment that they're going in? It's not, the last game they're going to play, but it's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I think, going on the road is difficult. We know that. Going into that environment is extremely difficult. It's one of the best home courts in college basketball, especially as we get ready to go up there. That will be something that we're going to have to absorb. We know that. We're going to have to play through the runs. We're going to have to play through the energy. But we just have to be ourselves. To the best of our ability, we have to compete. And at the end of the day, we have to be locked in on whatever we have to do. But I'm not going to be able to show some big movie and this is what it's like and all that stuff, or highlight films. I mean, they have a new team that they're developing as well, and I think that's the nature of it right now. But the environment we'll have to handle for sure.
With this team, it seems like there's a lot of accountability, and from what I've seen, what allows you to coach this team differently than other teams in the past?
Well, we have a very coachable group. We have a high character level. They pull for one another. We have had very few days where we have to address anything. And I think that's a credit to the kids. I think it's a credit to them playing to win and developing. You're going to go through times as a player where maybe it's not your night. They have not flinched in terms of, hey, it's not my night, but it's our night. It's been great. And we just have to stay with that. We have a good group of guys. They work extremely hard. We have a chance to continue to get better and better and better because of that. And I think that's really what we focused in on from day one. And, my hope is obviously the most important aspect of what we're doing is representing our own jersey. Our fans, our former players, every day in practice, holding each other to that standard. But we have to represent our jersey the best that we can. And we have a group that understands that right now. It's not about the individual guys. And if it becomes about the individual guys, that will have to be dealt with first, because you can't win unless you have a group that's bought in for each other. And I think that's a big part of us continuing to move forward throughout the year, them pulling from one another, them being happy for different guys. In Orlando, we had significant contributions in a 3-day window where certain guys played good one day, the next day they didn't. Miles was great on day 2, wasn't as good on day 3. RJ wasn't good on day 2, he was great on day 3. Damon was great on day 3, maybe didn't get as much in day, like, you have to be able to weather the emotions of you, and you have to set that aside, and it's about us. And that's been a constant through the summer. And I also think, strategically recruiting and doing things, man, we're looking for those type of guys, and I think we have a collection right now.
Actually, about Providence on Saturday. Like you said, both teams are still trying to just develop the rosters and everything, but I think a lot of people consider that the biggest non-conference game in the state of the year. And I'm just curious, do you look at it like that? Are you like looking forward to that game every year, or is it just another game?
That game's on your mind 365 days a year. I mean, it really is. It means a lot to the tradition of both places. There's a lot of great players and great coaches that have competed in that game. And when you play here or you play there, it is the best of the best. And you want to be in those games, those environments, and as a player, you want to be able to thrive in those environments. To do that, you have to learn how to be composed and be yourself on a daily basis. You can't make the environment bigger than it is. You have to go in there and create an opportunity for yourself to play it well by playing hard and competing and respecting how important the game is. But when you play this game for these two schools, it doesn't matter how good you are, how bad you are, it just matters on that day. And everyone has to understand that, because it is big. It's one of the most underrated games in college basketball. I've been in it now a few years, and I will tell you that I've been in a lot of other games, in different leagues that mean a lot. Rivalry games, Pac-12, ACC, you start naming it. This one right here is maybe the most underrated game of college basketball. People don't really understand. It is a fantastic way to compete. I mean, both schools, close, Big East, tradition-based programs that have had success against one another at different times. Providence, obviously, tremendous program, and they got a really talented team. I haven't watched them a lot, but from a roster standpoint, they're going to be a good team here as they keep getting a little bit more weathered through their schedule. They've played a very difficult schedule to date, and I know they're getting ready to play us and then head into the storm of the Big East, but they're going to be fine.
Got one over here.
Coach, what kind of impact has Teresa made on the team?
Huge,
since coming
saved
back?
us, completely saved us. Wasn't supposed to even play in Orlando. Wasn't supposed to be available until we got back from Orlando. Obviously, we're down a guy, and he just said, if you want me to play 1 minute, I'll play 1 minute. And that's what we did. We went down to Orlando and threw him in there for 2 or 3 minutes. He held his own. He has no conditioning level. Game 2, played a little bit more, was good. Game 3, played a little bit more, was good. His 15 minutes tonight, absolutely fantastic. He's a great kid. He's a great representation of what this thing is all about. And as he continues to practice every day, get in better shape, he's going to play a large role, especially with what we have going on right now.
Injury report on you think he'll be ready for Saturday?
No, he's out indefinitely, and we expect probably a procedure at some point in time here, a decision-based procedure from him and the docs and whatnot. But if he does come back this year, it won't be till conference play. If he doesn't come back, he'll be out for a year.
Is it a leg injury?
Yeah, he's a lower body injury, knee.
Coach, Jonah's struggled from the field today, but he still contributed plenty of minutes for the team. Just what does he bring sticking with him, and outside of scoring, what does he contribute?
I don't evaluate Jonah on his shots. We know Jonah can shoot. We know he can play on offense. At the end of the day, Jonah is as trusted as anyone we have in terms of his accountability on defense and his sturdiness on defense, his conditioning level. He's very consistent and accountable regardless of how his shots are going. He does not pout. I thought they did a good job on him tonight. I thought he had to do some different things, but you never question his effort, and you never question at the end of the day how smart he is and what he's trying to do for us throughout the game. He's going to have some games where he's going to have to earn more shots. We'll have to get him more shots. There's going to be some games like Temple where he bangs 6 or 7 and scores 25 on Yale, whatever. Tonight really wasn't his night from the field. I thought Brown did a good job of really understanding that, but I don't evaluate Jonah at all if his shot is going down. I'd leave him out there, for 40 minutes because I think he competes the right way.
Tough to go from 84 degrees.
Hmm?
Tough to go from 84 degrees to this.
My wife thinks so for sure. So, I haven't seen it outside, but it could be blizzard, snowing, tornadoes. I'm feeling good right now. All right, this is it.
Thanks, Coach.
Shane, thank you.
See you soon. Have a good
No,
Christmas.